little bit smaller, and so the CNC machine helps us keep everything where we want it, and this is one of the major reasons why. A lot of people don't like bolt-ons because they say, oh, they don't have as much sustain as a set neck, but I beg to differ. If you do it right, you get a nice neck fit without any gaps, you can actually pick the guitar up. And there's no bolts in this thing yet, so that's going to help transfer the tone through the neck the way I want it to. And I do that with every guitar. Then once I get that sucker in there. This is a cruise tool kit that we had designed for us specifically in the custom shop. And what it is, it comes in every case with every custom shop guitar, master built and team built. Has a logo on it, has their logo on it as well. And everything you need to basically do a setup on the fly. There's cutters for strings, this multi-use screwdriver, there's the different height adjusters, string winder, nut driver, this is the feeler gauge that has a small ruler and all the different size feeler gauges. And got a capo, some other wrenches for doing truss rods. And this kit works with every guitar that we make in the U.S. factory. So all these tools will work to fit your American Standard or your P bass or your jazz bass or your deluxe or whatever. And then included is a ruler that has on the back all the specifications that we use in the factory for our setups. And that's notated here. It tells you how to set the truss rod, the bridge, pickup heights, and the intonation. And that, so it's all right there for you. I do need those strings. I need those strings up.
So let's talk about the shop again. When you got started, you didn't just wake up one day and you knew how to build a guitar. Tell us about how you actually learned the art.
When I first started, I worked on the production line, making the American Standards, setting them up. It was in the final assembly area, and that's where I really got good at doing setups. And there was a need for some help in the custom shop, and that's where I wanted to be from the very beginning. I wanted to go in the custom shop, and Bob Benedetto was working with Fender. We were making archtop guitars, really expensive, like $20,000 archtop guitars, and they needed a woodworker, and I had some skill set, so they brought me in, and I worked with Steve Stern and Yuri Shishkov making Benedetto archtops, and then shortly thereafter the Gretsch guitars that we still make in the custom shop today. Steve Stern heads up the Gretsch custom shop. It's housed in the same area as the Fender Master Builders. And I did that for about 2 years, and then I started working on the Fender side of things, and I apprenticed for another 5 years before I was promoted to Master Builder.
Talk about being an apprentice in the Fender custom shop. It's not something that's an ordinary, everyday thing.
No, there's 8 Fender Master Builders in the shop. That's it, 8 on the planet. And so it's a pretty prestigious job, but it's not an easy one to get. You've got to really prove yourself to get there. We've had other guys that were trying to get there, and they either quit because they knew they couldn't make it because they didn't have the skill set, or they found other places to work within the custom shop that was more suitable to them. So it's a real family environment in the shop, and everything, there's a high energy in the shop, and everybody has to kind of have their role in the shop. And Master Builder is definitely a unique role for those guys, including me.
Yeah. So as you go from Master Builder to Master Builder, apprenticing with them, you learn different things. Who is the Master Builder that really taught you the art of dressing frets?
I would say Bob taught me a lot with his guitars, because they were so expensive, he had an eagle eye, and he would come in and he'd think, man, I did a really good job on this guitar, and he'd find everything wrong with it. You're like, oh, man. So you just move forward, and I still every day I try to make every guitar like it's mine, like I'm going to take it home, and it's like I never made the perfect guitar. I can't. It's almost impossible to make a perfect guitar. I can always find something wrong with it, and to me that's kind of a good thing, because it keeps me working harder and harder to make that perfect guitar, because that's what I want to do. I want to make a perfect guitar.
Well, he makes a damn good guitar, I'll tell you that. Let's talk about the importance of fretwork, though.
All the master builders do all their own fretwork by hand. That's how we do it in the shop. All the guitars that we make are done with blocks. I have a block of aluminum that's about that long. It's really heavy, and I machined it so that it's dead flat on the stone. And I put a piece of sandpaper on there, and I lay it on the neck, and I do the frets real gently like this, that block. And that means that every fret is perfectly true. And we take great pride in doing that in the shop, and you can look and feel these instruments, and you pick them up and you play them. And sometimes with a cheaper guitar, you can kind of feel some grit when you try to do a bend. It's just kind of gritty because there's scratches in the frets. If you pick up any one of those guitars that's in the gallery, or these up here, you'll see that they're really shiny and really smooth, and that adds to the playability of the guitar. When you pick it up and play it, it just feels so nice. And it's one of those things that can go overlooked.